Yo, what's good? Welcome back to the channel. Alright, so this is going to be my personal top 15 dunks Michael Jordan had in the playoffs. I'm going to let all the dunks run through, and then I'll go through them individually at the end to give you my reasoning on why I feel like they should make the list and where they are in the order of the list. Alright, let's check it out.
Coach for Charlotte used to call them when he was at Chicago the Dobermans. Well named. 9:06 to go, third quarter, 58-44 Chicago on the verge of blowing this thing open. Michael! Oh, baby!
Came down in the backcourt.
Coming up on 2 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Jordan off the steal. Michael Jordan with his second field goal.
The Bulls defense finds a way to get easy scores. Fourth in the league this year in steals. Jordan, one of the best pickpockets you're going to find, and then one of the best finishers at that end.
They've hit their last 6 from the field. Jordan. Yes, it counts, but he came up hobbling.
Once again, landing on that right foot with the sore toe. If they're going to force him baseline, you've got to rotate sooner. Sam Perkins waits. It's too late under the basket with Jordan attacking the way he does.
Foul called on Perkins, his second. Here comes A.C. Green checking back in.
He almost shifts to another gear. He elevates and then just goes a little bit higher when he knows he needs to.
The New York Knicks 13. Here's the double team on Jackson. The steal by Jordan. Hits on the reverse, and the Knicks again are having big problems with the pressure of the Bulls.
And taking place right over the half-court line. Then Mark Jackson, who's much smaller, a good strong trap. Jordan with the hand out there gets the deflection, and then just to remind those fans that think he may have forgotten how to dunk it, no, does a little reverse for you.
And back come the Bulls. They're down by 3. Pippen for Jordan. The Laker lead is 1 to the free throw line.
The nice thing about this Bulls team is they have a number of people who can lead the breaks, make the right decision, and then perhaps the best finisher in basketball, Michael Jordan.
He has done big damage in the fourth quarter. Kittles has it knocked away by Michael Jordan. Basket and a foul. Michael Jordan can give the Bulls a 3-point lead with a critical defensive play with under a minute remaining in overtime.
Just watch as Michael gambles right there. You know, before he retired and went to baseball, he was always 1, 2, or 3 in the league in steals. Now you can see Gil, he didn't get him early enough. You know, you got to get him early where you can get the hand out of there so that you get the sure miss and force him to make the foul shots.
Nice move, but way off on the shot, and here is Jordan. Michael Jordan on the breakaway.
Campus, the beautiful outlet pass by Rodman over the top. Payton unable to take care of business. Now he can make up a lot with his athletic ability, but nobody's going to catch that.
Spurs with throw. It was deflected by Grant. Grant with the block. Jordan around Marley. Jordan all the way! Yes! And it counts!
Well, Michael is dangerous when he gets a rebound and he can go coast to coast. He's going to dunk on 2 guys.
Three-pointer, good, no good for the left. Long rebound, Jordan grabs it, ahead to Pippen, back to Jordan, into the right for the dunk. Oh, man, was Michael Jordan in the air. He's got 24. Pippen from the corner doesn't get it. Long rebound to Cartwright, knocked away by Janitsky, but inside, Jordan hammers it through and floors Barkley. It's like a heavyweight knockdown. That reminds me of Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson. That shocked everybody. This is power basketball right here. Michael Jordan goes up and boom.
Edwards has it stripped by Jordan. Needs the break. Draws the foul. 8 points in the quarter.
Well, you got a series of complications here. We just talked about Kevin Edwards when he penetrates, not reading. He planned ahead. They closed off the gap. Now Michael Jordan's free to come down and do his thing. He's so dangerous in transition. Now you foul him. Now he dunks. Now they've got, rhythm. They've got excitement. This is what they feed off of. They feed off of this guy, the greatest player to ever.
Thomas threw it away, and out of there is Jordan. He's got Paxson and Davis with him. He doesn't need him.
This play and the great ability of Michael Jordan. Tell me if you think this is a foul, folks. I think there's a little contact there. Let's watch it from a different angle. No foul being called in this play. Michael turns around. He can't believe it. There goes the tongue flying, and there goes the man himself flying. Laimbeer has no chance. Look at boom.
Scotty might have hit a wet spot. Still finds Luke. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Puts it off the glass. Nope. Luke kicked it out. Michael will get it forward with a fresh shot clock. MJ. He did it. Michael shakes the finger. A technical. He got a technical, but he finally got his dunk on Mount Matumbo. And he's going to say after the game, well, it took a long time, but it was worth it. Well, it was just good movement. They get a couple shots. They come up with the offensive rebound. Good post pass, and then the hard cut along the baseline. And a terrific drop pass from Luke Longley. There it is. Michael with the pass underneath. Jason misses. Michael's going to catch it on the outside. Down the lane he comes. He hammers it down home. So MJ got the technical foul for waving the finger, but that wave may have done a lot to keep this crowd in the ballgame. 10-4 Bulls with the lead. In fact, they do a lot of three-point shooting out of it. Here's Jordan. Wow!
Everyone in this arena fell back in their seat. You did. I did. The whole scorers table fell back in their seat. When he decides to elevate his game, he says, "Get out of my way." Oh, my Lord.
Ronnie Cycli on the foul.
Jordan trying to shake off Starks. Oh, what a move by Jordan. It counts. And the foul.
Well, this is an ego problem for Patrick Ewing. First of all, Jordan on a beautiful dismissal of the defense. In this case, Starks.
He no longer needs accomplishments to prove his case as the greatest player in NBA history. He just adds to it. And if this is the final chapter, what a way to close the book.
All right, so number 15. I feel like this one needed to be on the list. One, because of it was the 95 season when he just came back from baseball, so he's still in his baseball body. He took it end to end, and then he finished with the left. So I feel like that was enough to get it in the list. All right, now under number 14, this one is actually one of my favorite Jordan dunks. Period. Playoff or not. It's as high as it is on the list because it was just a breakaway slam. It wasn't in traffic, but it was a very, very nice dunk. Unfortunately, we have no game angle to see where he really took off from to really get like the full appreciation of the dunk. But this one had to be on the list. It just had to be. Plus, it was the finals. Now, number 13. This one I had to put in there because number one, it was the finals. And then number two, for those of you that know, Michael actually injured his toe in game 3, and this is game 4. This is early in game 4. So he's playing with a hurt toe, a jammed toe on his right foot. And then when he goes up, he kind of meets Sam Perkins in the air, and they hit, and then he goes up a little bit higher and then finishes the dunk. So this had to be on the list. All right, number 12 was pretty self-explanatory. I mean, it wasn't often we saw a lot of reverse dunks from Mike. So being that, and then this was that tough 7-game series with the Knicks. I believe this was game 3. So they needed to win this game to avoid going down 2-1. So it's an important game as well. So that's why this one is in the list. Now, number 11 is on the list. 1, it's the finals. 2, when you watch it and he goes up, Sam Perkins is there to challenge it. He actually has to bring it down and wrap it around to the left around Sam Perkins to finish. and if you look at where he took off from, had to be on the list. Number 10. This one made the list, one because it's the last year for the Bulls, Mike's last season in Chicago. So this isn't young, explosive Mike. This is an older Mike. This is, I believe, game 1 of the first round of the playoffs. So this is the first playoff game of that series of the season, and it's overtime. Anyone that's seen this game knows that it was a tough game against the Nets. The Nets really gave him a good series. So it starts off with a steal. Because, I mean, you can see tie game, overtime, less than a minute left. He steals the ball and then comes down and dunks on Kendall Gill for an and-one dunk. That had to be in the top 10. That's why this one's number 10. All right, number 9. Once again, this is an easy one. For most of us, this one stands out. It's a fire leaner dunk in the finals as well, on the road. And I believe this was game 5. So they had just lost game 4. So Seattle was trying to make a run, and they did actually lose this game as well. But off the break, the way he caught it, and you see he caught the ball, took that one power dribble step, and then just went into the leaner. They had to be top 10. All right, number 8. This is actually one of my favorites because I like how Mike just kind of casually is dribbling up the court, and then he crosses over on, I think that's Dan Marley. Yeah, he just crosses over on Dan Marley, goes down the lane, and just throws it down over a couple of Suns players. This is also the finals as well. And this is game 4, so they had just lost game 3, that triple overtime game to the Suns. So this is an important game as well. If they lose this game, they give home court all the way back. Because, you know, for those of you that know, the Bulls won the first 2 games in Phoenix. So if they had lost this game, they would have given that home court advantage all the way back. So, I mean, this one kind of speaks for itself. Number 8. This one was, without question, had to be in there. For one reason alone, because this is the second round against Detroit in 1988. But when you slow it down, I believe I actually have the slowed down version there, and you see where he took off from and how high he got. This is no question, had to be in there. And I believe we're on number 7 now. This is number 7. All right, number 6. We're getting almost in the top 5. This one had to be in there and had to be as high as it was. It's the second round against against Philadelphia, and he obviously just dunks all over Charles Barkley to the point where Charles gets knocked to the ground. But he didn't do it like, you know, driving from the perimeter. It was off of a drop step. So he literally catches the ball, drop steps, and out jumps Charles, and then is strong enough to somehow still knock Charles to the floor. So that's why this one was as high as it was. Okay, so we're cracking the top 5 now. Number 5, this one obviously was going to make the list. And I think it had to be in the top 5 just because of the entire sequence where Mike doesn't get the steal, but he gets the loose ball, and then he's weaving in and out of players, crossing over, going behind the back, and then he comes through down the middle of the lane and seems like he just dunks on the whole city of Miami, two-handed, strong. So this one had to be easy top 5. All right, number 4. Once again, we're this high in the list, so everything's pretty much going to be a poster dunk. So when you go back and you slow it down, he didn't just dunk on Laimbeer, but when you see where he took off from, and Laimbeer kind of met him at the rim, but obviously Laimbeer, he doesn't really have bounce like that, so he couldn't get high enough to really block the shot or to really challenge the dunk. So all he really did was foul Mike, and the whistle didn't blow, but this is like the definition of an in-your-face dunk. But the way that, because Mike had to, from where he took off from, and then he met Laimbeer was just waiting at the rim for him, and that's where the contact happened, and he just finished right over him. That's why this one is number 4. All right, number 3. Obviously, once we get to this point in the list, they're all going to be very well-known dunks. This one was number 3 for me because, first off, you see it was almost like a broken play. It was going all over the place, and then out of nowhere, Mike finishes the play. So with the Bulls where they run a triangle, if you see that Mike, Pippen, and Longley are in a triangle right now, so Mike kicks it down to him and immediately cuts and gets it back, and it just finishes over Mount Mutombo. And then most of you know the story that when Mutombo first came in the league, Mike, obviously being Mike, made a comment about he was going to be the first one or something to dunk on Mutombo, and then Mutombo responded that he was never going to dunk on him. And up until this point, because Mutombo came into the league, I want to say 91, maybe 92. You guys can correct me in the comments. And up until this point, he hadn't got this dunk on Mount Mutombo yet. So this was the first time he really caught him. So that was kind of a part of the moment. And then the finger wave after. It had to be top 3. It had to be. All right, number two. Now this is the first round against the Heat in '92, so it's not didn't really have much to do with the moment, but it really had a lot to do with the dunk itself. Because Mike caught it on the left wing, took jab step to the left, just literally drove down the middle and dunked on the whole team. And he took off he jumped off 2 feet. And somewhere there was a little bit of contact, and he ended up getting twisted in the air, and he just threw it down with one hand. And then when you look at the bench reaction, just the whole reaction, this was easily, well, not easily, but yeah, this had to be one of the top 5 for sure. And in my list, it's number 2. All right, and my number 1 Michael Jordan playoff dunk. Pretty easy one, pretty obvious one. I mean, what can you say? The entire sequence. Driving to the baseline, spinning back to the baseline, faking out John Starks and Charles Oakley. Even though it looks worse than it did, because if you look, Charles Oakley actually pushed John Starks, so it looked like he got faked out a lot worse than he actually did. But oh well. And then just one dribble, Ewing's right there waiting on him. He just out jumps him and just throws it down on him. I mean, what can you say? And to me, a lot of people like the baseline view, or like the slowed down black and white view that they show, but I like the actual game view, because if you slow it down, you can see how Mike basically threw it down with his whole body, because as he's dunking it down, his legs are kind of coming up a little bit, because he's really using his core to just throw it down on Ewing and just destroy him. All right, so that is my personal top 15 list. Let me know down in the comments. Agree? Disagree? Was there a dunk that I missed that you felt should have made the list? Did I have a dunk there listed too high or too low? Let me know down in the comments. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you can always know when I drop a new video. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for watching the video. Peace.
He no longer needs accomplishments to prove his case as the greatest player in NBA history. He just adds to it. And if this is the final chapter, what a way to close the book.